Hi, Maria, the amateur crafter here. I'm going to cut out some house numbers today and hopefully show you how to apply them as well. But that'll be tricky because I don't know how to do that yet with this program. So anyways, I'll do that. I think I want to resize the numbers a bit. So let's hop over to Design Space and let's do that. Whoops, sorry about that. Let me get that to the right size. There we go. So right now, these are actually pretty large house numbers. It's 10 inches wide, but I want to get it as wide as I can, which is as wide as my mat allows me. So I'm going to change that. I selected everything. I'm going to change that up here in the dimensions box to 11.5 width. So that actually makes it about 8 inches tall. 7.5 inches tall, a little over 7.5 inches tall. You can see that right here. So I think that will be just fine. Let's just go ahead and save this. Control S on my keyboard, which is faster. And then make it. Let me see if my mat is going to stick today. You know what? I'm going to get a stickier mat, a newer mat. So even though you can't see that, I am going to be cutting on the mat. Done. Oops. Okay, so I made a mistake in Design Space. I want this to look exactly like I had it on the screen, so I'm going to have to change something on my page. I'm going to cancel the cut. I'm going to select it all again, and I'm just going to press Control A on my keyboard, or Option A for the Mac to select it all. And then I'm going to go over here to the Layers panel and at the bottom and select Attach. Back up to make it. And now it should look correct on the mat. There we go. This is interesting. So it actually put it sideways, and I don't want it sideways. Let me see if I can force it to go the other way. Otherwise, I'm going to have to resize it to a little less than 11.5 by 11.5. So it is going to fit. It just didn't do that naturally. Oh well, I was able to rotate it and make it work. Let's click Continue. I'm going to be using the premium outdoor vinyl or premium vinyl, just in black, once it connects. Oh, so it needs an update to my maker. That's great. So I'm going to go ahead and select Update. I'm glad you can see this. Stay connected and powered on during the update. Okay, I won't touch anything. Actually, I want to show you what my Cricut machine is actually doing, so let me switch over to that camera. If you can see, the light is red, and do you know what? I'm so sorry. Let me switch that. Oh, I should have switched this to a different thing, but the red turned off from the red, and now it's back white, and the software is saying stay powered on and connected, and it's actually updating. Let's switch back to the Cricut. Nope, it looks just fine. You know what? Next time I'll switch that camera around so that it's, well, you know what? Maybe I can do it right now. This will be annoying for you, sorry. I'm going to flip it horizontally, vertically. There we go. And I'm going to flip it the other way so that it looks like, it actually looks like in real life. I can do that. There we go. Let me get it centered for you. Sorry about that. There you go. Okay, back to, ooh, the Cricut's moving now. I'll switch back to the software, Design Space, so you can see what that's doing. So the Cricut just moved. And here's what it says in Design Space. So it's successfully updated, and go ahead and select Continue. Okay, let's continue. Okay, it's saying to connect my Cricut device. Select that from the drop-down list. Okay, I'm doing the premium outdoor vinyl, which is in my favorites list already. Let me check that I've got the fine point blade in, which I do, and I can press and unload the mat. But let's click over to my desk real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the blade just to make sure that it's clean. There's nothing on it. Ooh, there's a little bit of something on it. Did you see that come off? Now I'm just going to tip it over and clean it the other way. So I had some schmutz on my blade. I don't know if that's a word. Let me put that back. Actually, I should show you how to put that back too. So I'm going to leave that there. So this isn't cut exactly square, which is just fine. So I'm going to stick the end out the edge and just line it up on this other line. And I'll have a little bit of extra spare piece of vinyl to use for some other project. Okay, and I am, if you'll notice, you know what, let me grab my roller. Maybe I need to get another new mat. So this is a newer mat, not a brand new mat. Oh, here we go. So here's my brayer. I'm just going to push that down a little bit more. So I only need about 8 inches, so I'm still going to go ahead and make sure it gets over the mat. But you notice I haven't actually cut this off. I'm going to leave it on the roll just to make it easier for me. I could cut off the 8 inches and do it that way if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So let's switch over to the Cricut. I'll put my housing back in, just set it in there, close the clamp. There we go. Normally I would do a test cut, but my machine is pretty consistent with this premium outdoor vinyl, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. You know what? It looks like I'm going to have to cut this because it's not going to go in. Oh, there it is. Now it is. Okay, let's press the load, unload button. There we go. I'm going to grab my ruler and do the ruler trick just for some extra support. Whoops, it unloaded it all the way. I guess I might have done something wrong. Let's look, and it's actually saying to press the play button. I think that Cricut had a problem with the software because the software isn't in there. Let's go ahead and press the unload button. Oh, I wonder if it's because I have this extra piece up here at the top, if that's why it did it. Let's try again. And if not, then I'll cut off that piece. There we go. So this ruler I just stuck underneath here to hold. Oh, you can't see that. Bummer. Oh, I know what it's doing. So it was measuring the mat length is what it was said it did. And now it says it's ready, but it's not ready. It's not even on the mat. It thinks that I'm using smart vinyl. Did I select on the mat? I'm pretty sure I did. Oop, that's loading it. Whoops. Now I've made a mess of this for sure. Look at that. Okay, it says longer mat required. I'm going to say, okay. Okay. So in Cricut, the software, that's why it's doing this. Yay, mistakes! Ah, mistakes. Yay, mistakes. Oops, I closed the software. There we go. So right here, it's actually telling me on the left-hand side that it wants the 24-inch mat, even though I rotated it. So let me see if I can edit this and ask it to go to the smaller mat, which I cannot. But I need to unload the material first of all. So let's go back to the Cricut. Let's get this pretty because this is really ugly right now. There we go. Wow, it did something weird to my mat on the corner, which is fine. That was just weird. Okay, I'm gonna need my brayer again. Let's go back to Cricut Design Space. There we go. So I have actually messed up this cut altogether. So let's cancel this. Are you sure you want to cancel the cut? Yes. And what we're going to do is resize it, which I thought we might have to do in the first place. We'll go ahead and resize it just under 11.5. Okay. Measuring mat length still. I might have frozen the software. I scrolled down to see if it said anything else, and it didn't. Okay, I'm going to have to close Design Space and reopen it. It does have a new version, so let's go ahead and quit. And I'm going to reopen it. It did say open. Oh, there it is. Oh, how funny. Well, let's close the window. Let's try again. Oh, it thinks it's open, but it's not showing it to me. Let's open the task manager and see if we can do a switch too. Yeah, so it thinks it's open right here. It says I can end task. Well, let's go ahead and end it. Okay. So it closed it. Let's go ahead and open Cricut Design Space again. Well, that was just bizarre. Okay, it thinks it's open. So I wonder if it thinks it's open on my other screen. If that's what's going on. No, I don't see that it's there. Now it's open two windows, neither of which I can see. See, look at this. Well, that is just interesting. Let's go ahead and close one. It won't let me close either one. Oh, how weird. I have lots of windows open. I'm going to go to fewer details. Wonder. Always on top. That didn't do what I expected it to do. I think that just made it a higher priority application. Okay, let's end that. I actually have a shortcut desktop, or I'm actually going to try and run it from my All Programs menu. I'll show you here. Oh, my caps lock key is on. It says it's loading. Well, this is just a funny problem. Well, it looks like I may have to restart my computer or something. Okay, so let me stop the recording and get Cricut Design Space working again, and then I'll come back and we'll do this again. Okay, hi, I'm back. So I restarted my computer and the same problem still happened, and I realized that I have a phantom third screen. Let me show you what I mean. Let's check. Maybe I fixed it. Screens 2 and 3, I want them to extend to make them, there we go. There, and it changed it, and it's asking me if I want to keep those changes. So now Cricut Design Space is on this monitor 3 that I can't see. That's what I was seeing. So I'm going to make the screens 2 and 3 the same so that it will show up on this screen 2 and 3. So let me go down here to Cricut Design Space. There we go. And move it to the right monitor. And make sure that the resolution is right while I'm here. Yay! There we go. All of that just to show Cricut Design Space is back. Back to my house numbers, customize, and we're going to make it just a little less than I'm going to Control A, just a little less than 11.5 and 11.49. 11.5 is the widest our mats will cut, and so that's why I'm doing it just lower than that. I'm going to go ahead and save the project. I did select everything again, even though you can't see that I did. There you go. Now you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and select Make It. Now, hopefully, this will show up on a regular 12 by 12 mat when we select on the mat, because I am not using smart vinyl. There we go, and it is showing that it's on this 12 by 12 mat in the right orientation. Good, so let's keep going. I'm going to select the premium outdoor vinyl. We did check the blade before, so all of that should be okay. So let's get our material loaded. Oops. I didn't turn on my other camera. Darn it. Let me do that right now. Sorry. Maybe it timed out. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to apologize again because now I have messed with my camera settings, and so I'm going to have to adjust them a little bit. Let's see if that looks right. A little bit. Oh, I know why. I'm actually going to do it more like that. Okay, there we go. Now you can see my machine and it's ready to go. It's asking for the material to be loaded. What I talked about before, but I don't know if I showed it. So this is just a ruler, a metal ruler, and I'm actually just sticking it right in here to, I just saw something that I have to share with you. Look what I've got in my, yay, I have candy in my candy drawer. So this metal ruler will just support the mat. That's all. Okay, so I'm gonna bray it down one more time because my mat is dumb. I should probably just get another mat. Okay, put it in, press the load, unload button. It's gonna measure the mat length. There we go. And it's ready to go, and everything looks good this time, so I'm finally gonna press play. Yay! And while that's cutting, I deserve a piece of candy after all that. So Maker's gonna learn. They're another YouTubers. I know I talk about a lot of YouTubers. They say we should weed on the mat. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and do that today with you. Normally I don't, because I usually am cutting out really small designs and I don't like to have the big mat there, the sticky mat. But this time I will. And I'm gonna use my favorite tool, the pin pen. You get this from 143 Vinyl. Speaking of which, 143 Vinyl came out with a mystery box. I'm going to pull this out. It's not helping anymore. 143 came out with a mega mystery box, or Mr. Crafty Pants, and I didn't buy it. Yay me! Okay, I missed it. I was going to buy it, but I missed it. But Expressions Vinyl, they also have projects with their vinyl in their mystery boxes, so they're another option. All done. Let's get that unloaded. I know you can't see that, but we'll go ahead and try and do it on here. So let me get my true control knife. I'm just going to slice it right across. Not push too hard. Hopefully I got hard enough to get through the backing, but not hard enough to go through the mat. Set the vinyl aside. This really is my favorite weeding tool. I should have actually checked the cut before I pulled it off unloaded it to make sure it went all the way through. But it looks pretty good, so it looks like I've got a little bit of stuff that I'm going to have to work on. This is my favorite weeding tool. I like it for the more intricate designs. It probably doesn't matter so much for this particular design. Because it's so big. Oh, I was going to cut off that and save it for something else. Oh well. Vinyl is relatively cheap, so let's get that piece out. Whoops. My 8 tore. Slow down a little bit on these smaller numbers. Okay, so there's the outside. My 8 tore a little bit, but it's going to be just fine once we get it up on the wall. Nobody's going to be able to tell. What I like the pin for is you actually kind of just lift and it comes off. Poke and lift. I wonder if it's because it's cold that my vinyl is acting funny. Normally it's a little bit stretchier. And this, with this, it's, see, my pin pen is not doing the trick. Yeah, I wonder if it's just too cold. I live in a really old house, so it's really drafty and cold once it gets outside. Or once it gets cold outside, it's just drafty inside and cold inside, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, there is. I could turn up my heater all the way and spend a small fortune on heating and cooling, but I'm not willing to do that. So, yeah. Well, that worked a little bit better for the stretchy, so that's good. Okay, so this is weeded. It didn't do it in the right order. It's supposed to say 10 Road 4800. So when I place that on, darn it, when I actually put it on the wall, I'm going to have to fix that and put them in the right order. I should have checked that before I cut it. Another mistake. It's fixable, but another mistake all the way the same. So when it comes to transfer tape, I actually am not a crazy burnisher. I am a little bit of a burnisher, but not a crazy burnisher. And let me show you what burnishing is. This actually just gets the air bubbles out and makes sure that the vinyl sticks to the transfer tape. The reason why is because the transfer tape is just temporary for me, so I'm not super worried about it sticking to the transfer tape. I'm more worried about it adhering to the surface that I'm going to be putting it on. What I want to do as well is I'm going to cut the 4800 rows separate. Let me go ahead and do that right now so that I can move that over so it'll be in the right order. I'd usually use scissors for this, but my true control knife was closer. Now, if I was smart enough, I would have put a ruler down so that I would have lined those up in the first place, but being able to line them up so that I could just slide one over to the left and the other one over to the right, and they would still be the right height away from the number 10. But I wasn't smart enough to do that. So, oh well, life goes on. I do want to check before I leave to put these numbers on that they'll stick to the transfer tape enough, and it's obvious that they will right there. So, no problems there. Okay, got these cut. Now let's go apply them. So what I'm doing is heating the existing vinyl with my heat gun so that I can peel it off. It will release the adhesion, the glue. It will loosen that glue up, and you can see that I can get some pretty big pieces once I use my heat gun. It's a little bit, you can see those tiny pieces that I'm peeling off. It's pretty cold outside while I'm doing this, so I want to make sure to use that heat gun to both make sure to peel off the old stuff, but also to apply the new vinyl as well. Apologies for the people going in and out. This is a working house, and so you'll see my husband and my father-in-law. This is my mother-in-law's house that's doing it. Okay, so here's the heat gun again, and a nice big piece there was pulled off. Sweep up some extra cobwebs just to clean it up. Now, just a little bit more cleanup. Oh, almost got it all off. Just a couple more pieces there. Next, what you'll see me do is take some alcohol, and that's just an alcohol dispenser that I've purchased, and clean up the area that I'm going to be applying the new vinyl to. Just want to make sure that it's nice and clean. So I put on my new decal. Sorry about the jump cut there. I did use the hinge method, so I pulled back a little bit of the paper backing, and attached that first to the wall, and then adhered the rest of it and pulled off my transfer tape. Here I'm heating the wall up just to make sure I get a good adhesion with the small numbers there. That ball that I was using is to fill in all of the nooks and crannies to get that vinyl really stuck to this highly textured surface. And looks like we're all done. So that house project was a lot of fun, and I am so glad that the owners enjoyed it and are enjoying their new house numbers. So thank you for watching, and have a great week.